Hey y'all, we're doing basil today. Do you use basil in cooking? If you don't, it's wonderful. My neighbor gave me a bunch. I have a little bit growing in my herb garden, but I'm excited about this. So let's get to preserving this. I'm gonna show you a couple of different ways that I do it. So the first way I do it is I dry it. If there's some on the stems, I just take twine. I wish I had smaller twine than this, but this is all I could find here. And I tie it together and I hang it up. Makes great decoration too, but this is neat. You just want to shake all the loose, anything loose, where it won't get in your house. And the best place to hang it is in your house where it's warm, and you can use this forever. You just pull off the dry leaves and use them on pizza or whatever you want to use them in. Tomato soup, it's good. But this is the easiest way to do basil for me. So I'm going to show you how I do this. I'm washing it. If you have a salad spinner, that's the way to do it. But you just dip these leaves in the water, and then we're gonna pull them off the stem. So we're gonna take the leaves off the stem, just pull them off and lay them over here. You're gonna love this. I've got a towel with a paper towel on top, and I like to get mainly the bigger leaves. So we're just pulling the leaves off, and we're gonna let them dry. I'm gonna continue doing this. And look, here's a big, beautiful, I love these. These are beautiful. We're gonna continue doing this till I get all this done. And like I say, if you have a salad spinner, that's the way to go. I need to get one, don't I? Haven't had one in years. But you're just gonna pull most of this off the stem. You can do the small leaves. It's easier to do big leaves, but you can just pull them off. If it does have a little stem on it, it's not gonna hurt anything. Now, if you come across one like this that has the stem on it, you can actually set this down in a glass of water and keep it in your refrigerator. You also could chop these leaves up and put them in ice cube trays and freeze them, and then you can just pop out an ice cube tray. You could either put chicken broth in there or just plain water, and just with a chopped basil, and my goodness, you'd have a treat. Drop in your soup anytime you wanted it. So now what I'm going to do is cover this up with a paper towel on top. Leave it for about an hour, soak up the moisture, and then I'll show you from there what we're gonna do. So I've put a paper towel on top of it. Hope y'all can see that. And all I'm doing is just mashing it down just to let it soak up that moisture for a little while. I'll probably leave it about an hour. When somebody offers you something, remember that they took the trouble to pick this, and you need to take the trouble to pick it up, process it, even if you have to give it away if you can't do it. It's just such a blessing. Like I say, this will probably do me for a whole year. This along with the 3 big bunches of dried that I've got and my little herb garden. So I appreciate it. Thank you, Rhonda. So it's been about an hour. I came over here and just pressed down on this just to get the excess moisture out. It won't be completely dry. You don't want it dry. You just don't want a lot of water in it. And you could let it sit there for a little while. It's not gonna hurt a thing, but you can see most of the water's out of it. Most went on the paper towel and the towel. This towel will be soaked. So now all you're gonna do is you're gonna pick this basil up. You are gonna put it in a quart jar or a half-gallon jar, whatever you got. I think this is enough for a quart. And if it's more than that, it'll be okay. I'm just gonna mash them down tightly. This smells so good. Makes me want to make some spaghetti or tomato soup, something like that. Now, if you get any of those little seeds in there, it will not hurt a thing. I'm telling you, right there's one, and I'm not worried about that at all. But if you see it, pull it off. You don't want any big stems in it. that beautiful so far? Just pack it in there. It's hard to believe all that is going to do a quart jar, but it is. And that's a lot of basil. So easy to do. So now I'm just going to pour olive oil. Oops, there's some little leaves. Don't want to waste that. Just going to pour this goodness over it. All of it. Fill it up. Olive oil and basil. Oh my goodness, what more do you want? All right, I'm gonna get a knife and just get the air bubbles out. I'm just gonna do it just like you were canning. I'm just gonna push, push, push. That makes the olive oil go down and gives us more room for more. And y'all, if you only use the olive oil out of this, it would be wonderful. So I've emptied that one, so I'm gonna get another jar and finish that. I think I said jar. A bottle of olive oil. Look at that goodness. My basil leaves covered. So I've got that at the very top. I'm gonna put a lid on this. I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator. "30 minutes of work, I have basil for a year. This will stay in the refrigerator for 6 to 9 months. It could even stay a year. Keep it covered with olive oil. If you use some of the olive oil, replace it. Next time you make spaghetti, throw some of this in." So here's where I put the dried basil. I think it's beautiful myself. I just tied it with a rope or twine. I just had rope, so I tied it with that. I thought it was really pretty there. There's my little cabinet of goodies. And here's the basil that's infused with olive oil that'll stay in the refrigerator 6 to 9 months. This will be great for the winter.